All right, December 7th we were talking about. December 7th on Rew Who, the big day, the day of celebrating John Lennon and my brother, the December 8th. But besides all that, today is National Cotton Candy Day. Did you know that? Today, December 7th, is National Cotton Candy Day, and we have cotton candy for everyone when they share their skeleton with us today. It's also the day that Howard Stern, beloved Howard Stern, on December 7th talked a man out of attempting suicide. Now, you know, what doesn't Howard Stern do? He is just, they should saint that man, don't you think?
Well, actually, the point to me on that is, you know, that Howard Stern, people don't think of him as an important DJ, they think of him as Howard Stern, but that shows how DJs used to be much more important. People would call DJs in the middle of the morning, middle of the night, the middle of the early morning, 3 in the morning, and the DJs would talk people out committing suicide.
Well, I just heard that Lindsay Lohan, actually, there was a man that was about to commit suicide, and then he heard she was posing in Playboy, and he said he was going to wait to kill himself because he wanted to see the pictures of Lindsay Lohan in Playboy. So she just actually saved a man from committing suicide as well. And I always am a huge fan of Lindsay Lohan. I love that girl all the time. So it's also the day, December 7th, that Ted Turner and Jane Fonda announced their engagement. Now, you know where that went, but they had a few good years. I actually met them one night, and I have to say, Ted Turner was a lot more fun than Jane Fonda. He was so happy and fun, and she was so serious. Maybe that was partly what, where that went. But it's also the day, and I think that this is, Beatles are always in the news on every day, I think, on every year. But this is the day that Wings released Band on the Run. Yeah, Band on the Run. That was a big hit for that guy, wasn't it? See, when John Lennon, when they said John Lennon was dead, I thought they were, my first thing was like, oh no, now they're doing it with him. Like, because I kept thinking about Paul McCartney. Didn't they say Paul was dead? I was like, now they're doing John Lennon?
And,
that's not right.
He didn't have shoes on when they walked crossing Abbey Road.
Oh, is that it?
That was supposed to be a sign. That was one of the signs.
Oh, those Beatles. They had such a huge influence on this world. It's also the day that George Harrison, on December 7th, changed his company's name from Morn York to Harrisongs on December 7th. See, they always have interesting things on those Beatles. Thomas Edison, he demonstrated the gramophone on December 7th. Now, where would we be without the gramophone? Do you think we'd be sitting on the internet right now? Don't you think that kind of paved the way? What do you think Thomas Edison...
The roll thing, because he did the roll thing too, didn't he?
I don't know, I'd like to see him do the roll thing. Is that like a break dance?
No, before the gramophone, music was recorded by punches on a roll.
I'm sorry to say, but that is a little before my time, Alan. I don't know. But it's also the day that the bust of Queen Nefertiti was found in Egypt on this day, December 7th. Did you ever see that?
Of course, the bust of Nefertiti. My sister had a little sculpture of the bust of Nefertiti.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, it was found on this day, December 7th. Also, it's the day that, I think, I'm only saying this because I find this to be funny to myself, that James Madison was elected president, but George Clinton was the vice president. Now, George Clinton, I once drove on it and I saw the George Clinton Bridge and I paid a toll and I laughed. I'm like, that's so funny. And they told me, he was like, it's not that George Clinton. I love that George Clinton. And, it's funny that he shares a name with a vice president. Like, that is pretty cool to me. I don't know. It just struck a chord with me because George Clinton's been a nice man in my life. And I like seeing his name anywhere. And it's not the vice president one. It's the funk man, George Clinton. I love him.
Well, they should name a bridge after him.
They should. I wanted it to be his bridge. It's also the day that Otis Redding recorded Sitting on the Dock of the Bay, December 7th. Yeah. I mean, that is one good song, right? Everybody knows that song. It's the day, December 7th, that Jesse James gang robbed banks in Missouri. And how many people call themselves Jesse James? It's like a lot of
I guess
people.
that's not the same person that divorced Bullet.
Oh, the tattoo people?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's another Jesse James. That name goes around and around and around. There's so many other interesting things. It is, of course, the day that the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor. But the thing that freaks me out more than anything is my Uncle Howie. Did you know my Uncle Howie?
No.
He was born December 6th, 1941. And then the next day, they bombed Pearl Harbor. I always thought that was...
With Pearl Harbor is how things change over the decades. We have September 11th when, like, no one wanted their birthday to be September 11th.
Right.
But it used to be December 7th.
Oh, really?
No one wanted their birthday to be December 7th.
Oh, interesting. Well, birthdays on this day. Aaron Carter. His birthday's December 7th. Ha ha. You know what he is. Paris Hilton had a fight with Aaron. Didn't she say Aaron Carter beat her up or something? I think that. I love Paris Hilton. It's Barbara Weathers' birthday. Do you know who she is? Atlantic Starr. I love that band, Atlantic Starr. She's from that band. It's also Ted Knight's birthday. You got to give it up to Ted Knight. Helen Gurley Brown's birthday. There are a lot of people born on December 7th that I think are pretty cool. It's Tom Waits' birthday today. And, God, that guy just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. I think he gets, more respect and fans as his birthdays increase. Harry Chapin's birthday. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And Mary, Queen of Scots' birthday is today. I think that's amazing.
Yeah. And Harry Chapin, I guess, as there's one of the people, we've lost too many people. Every year we lose people, too many people. But we lost Moogie Klingman, and I remember in the 70s seeing Harry Chapin when Taxi first came on the radio. He was the opening act for Buzzy Linhart.
Wow.
And Buzzy and Moogie wrote You Gotta Have Friends.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Angels in the Room. We like to always celebrate the people that actually passed away on this day because the whole show is in memory of John Lennon and my brother Dickie. Yes, they are the major angels today. But people that did pass away on December 7th are Vincent Gardenia. Remember him? I love Gardenia. It's one of my favorite scents in the entire world. I love it. So he is definitely an angel today. It's also, a lot of these people I didn't even know who they were, but I felt like they sounded something interesting. The Prince of the Shah of Iran. He passed away on this day, but he was murdered in Paris. I don't like that. So I really hope that he is in the room with us today. And we are going to take a quick break, and then we are going to come back with a kick-ass show. Yes, we are. It's true. Thanks for being here. Rew Who will be right back.